to stand up tall and proud. I want you to speak up clear and loud. Brown baby.
In a world overrun with the fake, delusional, and disingenuous, he stands as a beacon of truth. He is Abuki Cabal. You are listening to Abuki Cabal.
Welcome to the Abuki Cabal Show.
What's going on, everybody? So, sorry for my absence here. I've been working quite a bit here, but that's no excuse. I appreciate everybody hanging in there with me and sticking with the show. I appreciate you guys a whole lot for that. If you could take a moment to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It helps me out with the algorithm, as well as hitting that notification button. And I appreciate you guys for that as well. Today, I want to touch on a little bit of a tiff that happened on the Lapeef network, where Anton had to basically take some people to task. And I agree with most of what he had to say. It appears that, as usual, you know, the same people come and try to explain away the behaviors of the women in the community that they supposedly know nothing about. You know, I can't, account for things that I don't know about and that I've never seen. You know, speaking about BTaylor here, she's never seen any of this behavior. She's never known any women who exhibit this behavior. Yet she always has some retort for whatever the topic is at hand. You know, no matter what it is, whether it be child support, whether it be, inequity of treatment between men and women for the same types of behavior, whatever the case may be, she always sides with the women, these women whom she does not know, you know. And time after time, we see Mr. Let Go, Bruiser, and Anton constantly bringing up, you know, these things that these women say. I mean, Bruiser on his show, you know, shows these women speaking about their own, situations, their marriages, their failed marriages and whatnot. But BTaylor will not just look at that and take that on face value and then just deal with it from there and say, hey, I can't really, condone this type of behavior. She can't do any of that. Immediately she goes on the defense. What this is called in the space is defense of the sisterhood. by any means necessary. And you see this, it's like automatic. They just all go on automatic and they start defending the worst type of behavior. Over this past week, we've seen a struggle model who basically left her kids at home. And the father had to fly from California to go and check on the babies. His daughter, 12, taking care of a 3-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. You guys, check that out on, there's a couple of different channels that are talking about it. But, this lady, this wasn't her first time. She basically tried to, stab another person in Mobile, Alabama. And, this lady is now on the run and left her kids to fend for themselves. Kids been on their own for 3 months. I mean, it's ridiculous. And time after time, we see these people who are giving custody of these children, yet show no, they're not required to show any kind of proficiency in raising the child, taking care of the child. They just want to give them some money and just let them go ahead and go on about their business. The only person that's held accountable is the men. But anyway, I'm on a rant. We're going to get into this content and I'm going to see what we can do about this, because see what you guys think about it. Tell you what I think about it. It's some ratchet mess. It really is. And for BTaylor to come from such high stock as she claims, then, I just don't understand why she doesn't want to hold these people accountable. Seems like Anton's the only person that wants to hold these women accountable, other than, the other guys on the panel. The 2 guys who have their own shows dealing with this same type of ratchet behavior, the same behavior that we talk about constantly, but they play us like we're crazy, like we're just talking about some behavior that we never see, that we've never come into contact with. But let's check it out. Okay. Alrighty.
You think no. Let's really peel the Band-Aid off. Let's peel the Band-Aid off all the way. Let's peel the Band-Aid off all the way. I go to work every fucking day. I pay more taxes than I have to.
Not Medicaid.
No. Because now you want to overtalk me. Now you want to overtalk me. I pay more than I have to because I have to take care of a group of people. I have to now be responsible for bad decisions that women make because they fed into feminism and they sold themselves out. They sold their souls to the white woman to fuck up their families, and now they trying to remove themselves from holding themselves accountable for the people that they open up their legs to. I gotta pay for that shit. Is my fault because I live in a society where y'all pick the fucking president. Y'all policies, you pick these dumbass politicians. Y'all making all of the decisions of what's going on in the country, and now y'all want to remove all responsibility that comes along with it. Y'all pick the politicians. Y'all the determining factor for whether or not we gonna have these fucked up policies that's going on. We got all of these stupid Democrats in office continuing to raise the taxes so we can pay for these badass kids, and we can continue to fund the prison industrial complex that y'all breeding them in. And I have.
Okay, I'm gonna stop in there right quick because look, both parties have fed into this prison industrial complex. They both invested in it. There's black people that they tried to get to invest in it also, so that was a big problem. Everybody made money off of it except for black folks. Black folks black men were the biggest beneficiary of prison space made available for them. At no cost, so it's ridiculous that all of that took place, but we shouldn't sugarcoat why that happened and who benefited from that happening. We know that the Democrats were, went ahead and tried to be tough on crime, and everybody was begging for them to be tough on crime too. But that's neither here nor there. Basically, these women, don't feel any issues with the men being locked up. They just use it to their advantage to say, this is why we can't do anything. This is why our community is all in shambles. But no, the reason why our community is in shambles is because they took those 30 pieces of silver and they sold black men down the river, just like they continue to sell black men down the river. And as you can see, I want you to watch BTaylor's face throughout this whole show. She is just, she's dismissive of every aspect of what he's talking about. Can't wait to just rebut everything that he says. She's not listening. She's only listening to respond, not to take in. I dare say that she hasn't read any of the history, because if she did, she'd probably, sit down somewhere and probably be a little bit more intuitive about what these men are talking about. But she is the type of woman that is contentious just for the sake of being contentious. She has to get in and argue about every single point. And I want you guys to pay attention to that. These other ladies on here, they're quiet for a reason. But let's move on.
To be responsible for it? Come on, man. At some point, y'all gonna have to look in the mirror and take responsibility and say, yo, we got to do better as a community of women. Because even if every single guy that is a good guy decide that they want to exercise dig discipline, the majority of the dudes that y'all picking to have kids with is the worst of society. And then y'all want to come on later and say, hey, be Boyce Watkins and save us. Fuck y'all and y'all kids and everything that them kids stand for. Because it's not my responsibility, and you need to own that shit and suck that shit up, go to work, do whatever you got to do like a man got to do. Because let me tell you something, the family court law, they don't even care about whether or not the man can afford it. If he don't come up with that money, he going to jail. I don't see that happening to women. Y'all want equal, but it ain't equal. Because it ain't equal responsibility. It ain't equal in the family court law. And you know how I know it ain't equal? Because at the same time that y'all advocating for more feminism, more equal rights for equal play, y'all advocating against family court laws and updating the laws that wasn't even designated or allocated for y'all in the first place. It wasn't even meant for y'all. Y'all took advantage of the system. Y'all fucking up our community. It's y'all fault.
Do you think it's equal or they're fighting for superiority?
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. That's a great question that she posed. She's so lucky. Very, very good question. And I think what these black women want is superiority. I think they want to stand on the backs of the dead black men who lay in the rubble from the destruction that they wrought on the community. That's the only time that they're going to be satisfied. And I don't think they'll be satisfied then. Then they'll turn on each other and try and start, destroying whoever is lesser or they deem to be lesser amongst themselves after that. They are just insatiable. They defy any sort of rules or control. They just run wild, like wild animals, wild Mustangs just running through the field. Till you get a rope around one and ride it into submission, it is no good to you. You can't do anything with it. But once you break that animal, you can use it as a tool to herd other livestock, to do all kinds of things with it. Now, I'm sure some people will be, take issue with me using animal. I don't give a shit. Anyway, they defy any form of leadership, control, anything in that nature. The family, anything that will give them a specific set of rules that or guidelines that they have to adhere to, they can't deal with it. They cannot deal with it. And anything that will give black men better options, they want to separate us from as well. They don't want us to lead a plantation. They don't want us on the plantation unless we're under their lash. If they can whip us into doing whatever they want us to do, while they get their hair, nails, and all of that kind of stuff, and try to convince us that what we want is nothing and what they want is everything. We see this over and over and over and over and over, and it's the same types of women. Same types of women. But let's get into a little bit deeper.
I just wanted to, based on what
they
you
full of the devil. That's what they are.
And see, Anton's frustrated here. He's saying they're full of the devil. And I hate that he got frustrated here because he needed to elaborate further on that topic. It's important that they want us to be subjugated underneath them. And we see this through all of the policies. Through education, they're trying to get in every aspect of law so that they can hold their positions and make the man's position weaker legally. Through policy, they're also getting into politics, shaping the direction in which this country goes into the future. And none of that is beneficial towards men. It's all beneficial towards women, and it's all looking like men will be subjugated. And under the same descriptions as are used for white men, as if black men were right there with the white men, conquering and looting and pillaging and raping women, graping women, and all of that. Black men didn't have nothing to do with that. Black men were being subjugated during that time as the same as black women were. Black men were being ravaged and devastated by all manner of torture, murder, and every other type of misuse that you can think of. I mean, all you have to do is just read, but none of that is taken into consideration. These women don't care anything about that. What they'll try to have you believe is that black men contribute nothing to society, have contributed nothing historically to society. All we do is basically just, leave kids all over the place, whereas the statistics don't even reflect any of that. And then when you throw the statistics out there, they blow that off. And you have more and more of this. You have this on TikTok. You got it on YouTube. You got these people. I mean, there's no shortage of women who are ready to get up here, because as soon as Anton and kicked off, and Kay and Kayla, they had another group of misfits up there just ready to go. As soon as you knock a few of them down, there's more of them come up, just like whack-a-mole. But let's get deeper into it now. I mean, as you can see, these guys, Bruiser's frustrated. Mr. Lego's frustrated. Anton's frustrated. Real Precious up here, she ain't saying nothing, and she usually is going in deep, talking all of the same old mess. But nobody's saying anything except for BTaylor. She can't wait to get in there and try to rebut some of this logic that he's dropping now.
Did somebody steal your wheels recently? When a woman is broke, she gets government assistance.
Hey, Mr. Lego, you can't do that no more. You can't do that no more. You can't do that no more. You cannot do that no more. You're not doing that this show. No, you're not. Because I'm watching. Y'all see them. No, you gotta stay on hold. You gotta stay on hold.
Her children.
Hey, Deon said he gotta read the super chats.
Yo, Ali is butthurt.
No, they can literally. No. Think about it. They can literally take a man's take a man and put his name on a birth certificate in order to get benefits for it, and he's responsible for that child, even if the federal government know that it's not his kid.
Look at BTaylor's face. She doesn't give two shits about what these men are talking about anything negative that's happening to any of these men. She doesn't give a shit. You can see some of the empathy in some of the other women's faces, or just a blank stare because they just don't know what the fuck to say about it. But BTaylor is just, she's comfortable in her, in her position that she's afforded just for the sake of being a woman,
Is men going to jail today for child support for kids that's not even theirs?
Not even theirs.
That's crazy. And y'all want to sit here and have conversations with us about responsibility? First, you're going to have to come to the table in honesty and in truth and being real about the situation that y'all putting these guys in and y'all putting yourselves in. Y'all can't even come and be honest with who y'all are, and y'all want us to be able to support y'all and protect y'all and hold y'all down and marry y'all. And then y'all wondering why black men is the best in themselves against these women. What makes you think that they want to be with y'all and y'all not even honest with yourselves and coming to the table honestly? We don't even ask nothing from y'all. We don't ask y'all to do nothing for us. We don't ask y'all to bring money to the table. We don't ask y'all to support us. We don't ask shit from y'all.
See that face? And we don't ask anything. You know, even when we provide the most, we ain't providing nothing. You know, I don't know who said it. I can't remember which one who said it, but you know, somebody just said here recently that you give them $1 million and you still be arguing and fussing and begging to get whatever it is that you want from these women. And it's true. It's true. You know, you look at this whole issue with the passport bros, and you look at this shit right here. This is exactly why nobody, and that's why she's single now. BTaylor ain't got no man. What man wants to put up with all of that, all these faces and all of this cocking your head to the side and all of that type of stuff? You're just difficult just for the sake of being difficult. Don't nobody want that. I don't give a shit how fine you are. Nobody wants that. You know, you can have the best coochie in the world. You can run around here and everybody looking at your booty all on Instagram, whatever the case may be, but you still got a shitty attitude. You can smell it a block away. Soon as we see you ain't nothing but problems. This type of woman right here, you stay as far as you can away from her. You know, and I tell, you know, all you guys, you know, I mean, especially, you know, look, I'm older. I go back in time, you know, a lot of shit that I accepted just for the sake of a woman being pretty, I wouldn't do that shit anymore. And I tell you guys, damn them being pretty, you know, if they are not down with your program, you need to go on, move on, choose something else. And really, I tell you nowadays, I'm with the passport bros. Just go get you a woman overseas, man. Don't even fool with these women over here. You know, they have to be held accountable, and the only people that can hold them accountable is us. If we don't choose, you know, the ratchets and the bulldogs, then, you know, they'll be out here by themselves, happy like they want to be, because they say they're happy being alone. So let's just let them be alone. Don't talk to them. Don't speak to them. Go on about your business. You know, that's the only thing you can do, and continue to expose them on these platforms for who they are. The garbage thinking that they have, you know, they always think it's somebody else and not them. You know, when they go on, they lose a job for being ratchet. They lose relationships for being ratchet. You know, they prioritize money over raising a child and taking care of their home. You know, it's ridiculous. And then when they are stay-at-home moms, they just think that they're supposed to just take care of the child, but don't take care of the house, and then expect not to be called lazy. You know, you sit up and you take care of the child all day, and then you you're not cleaning up the house dirty, the man comes home, you're too tired to give him any attention. You know, the house dirty, and you only got one thing taken care of, and that's the child. And that's half-assed right there. You act like you don't even want to take care of your own child. That's what we get from our women. If we can even call them our women, because I don't think we can. They don't belong to nobody. But let's move on.
All we are is behind the 8 ball because we continue to subject ourselves to the very person that we lay next to is really our enemy, because they won't even be honest with what it is that they bring into the table. You bring in lies, deceits, irresponsibility, and you're looking to get saved, and you're looking to retire. All they do is use us. They don't actually add value. You want to know what's really wrong with the black community? Is that the woman is out of her purpose, and she's not a helpmeet no more. Yep. She's the enemy.
I agree. And what he said is really important here. I've always said that women use us like a natural resource. They just go out and they harvest that money from us. They harvest whatever it is that they want from us, and then they just go on to the next dude, and then they harvest a little bit from him too. And then, they harvest attention, they harvest money. They get everything that they want out of life, but then they bitch the whole time and say that, they have it so hard, and, we need to be protected, and all of these talking points that they get from white women. See, white feminists basically have their hand up the black woman's back, and they're doing a ventriloquist act. They tell them what to say, tell them what to support the trans agenda, talk bad about the black man. That's what they do. And that's what they do every day, every single day, every time you see them. They get them a little show, Fox Soul, whatever the hell it is. They all do the same thing. Look at the ESPN women on there. All of the black women on ESPN talk bad about the black athletes. Believe all women. But then we just had some situations here this week where some athletes, those two Ohio football players, just got found innocent, and the accusers were lying. But we supposed to believe all women. We got another false allegation that caused one of the football greats to basically not even participate in the last Super Bowl because some woman just came out the blue saying that he said something sexual to her in a bar. And then on top of that, so what if he did? You were in a bar. How much sexual shit is talked about in a bar? Don't take your ass to the bar. I mean, what is going on nowadays? I mean, it's like under no circumstances can a man even approach a woman or have a conversation with a woman for fear of being, targeted for what he has. And all this is just another form of prostitution. Back in the day, some of the prostitutes used to rob, but at least they'd have sex with the man and then rob him, but now these women just want to rob you and you don't even get nothing from it. They just want to rob, they go and say you did something and then they take you through the courts and rob you. And then you got women who sit up there and allow them to rob you. Help them to rob you. Then you have women like these on here where they sit up and they act like you weren't even robbed. They try to convince you that it's a figment of your imagination that you was robbed. That's where we are now. Man has no dominion over his household, no dominion over himself. All you can do is go to a job, keep your head down, and walk around these potential hazards that are women. It's a shame, man. I mean, You walk around, you see these attractive women, you really don't want to say nothing to them. You don't even want to say hi. You don't even want to say they look nice because you don't know what's going to come after that. Then if one of them, you get into an altercation with one of them, all I got to do is say you hit them. They can go full in on you. And then when the police arrive, they can say they didn't do a thing and that you hit them. You're gone. You're gone. They will take their word over yours every single time. But that's the predicament that we find ourselves in. But let's move on. Let Anton get on off into this a little deeper.
More of an enemy than a white man ever has. She's more of an enemy than anybody in history has ever been to the black community because she's the very person that comes in with deceit and looks to use you and then disperse of you when she's done with you. And then she'll move on when it's all said and done and then say, well, what about the kids? Fuck them kids and fuck that woman too. Throw that hoe out with the bathwater. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. Start the fuck over. Get a whole new group of women and then fix the community that way.
Here it is. BTaylor says, I can't relate. Meaning, I just don't know where all of this comes from. If earlier she tried to make a joke. Did someone do something to you, Anton? Anton's wife ain't like this. He vetted his wife. His wife is good to go. She listens to how he talks on this show. Don't have a problem with what he says because it's right. He's in charge of his household. He provides for his wife. He's had ups and downs. He's had failures. He's had successes. His wife ain't running around, doing what some of these women do, saying he ain't shit. I knew your shit wasn't gonna go anywhere the last time and all that type of shit. But you see that in this type of woman, I'm telling you, BTaylor she just looks like problem all over her forehead, cheeks, just problems. Every time she opened up her mouth, problems. Attractive woman, she dresses well, but I'm telling you, better look over that. Go make a look in the mirror and shit and look for a reflection. It's probably not one in there. Let's move on.
because we tired of these hoes.
I can't relate. I don't know if this is like a personal thing.
No, it's real. No, I'm not the problem.
See, I don't know if this is a personal thing. You know, this is some of that shame and shit. Well, I don't know. I don't know where this is coming from. Obviously, Anton's having a nervous breakdown. We probably need to find out, maybe have an intervention after the show or whatnot. Try to make Anton look crazy and shit. That's what they always do. Try to make us look crazy, angry. And they see the woman over here laughing. It all becomes a fucking laughing stock, you know, because you don't want to take the shit that he's saying seriously. He has not said not one thing that wasn't true. And you have a woman here trying to make fun of him instead of trying to find answers to the problem. See, men are problem solvers. These type of women, they're excuse makers. You know, she doesn't know where to start, where to begin at trying to solve a problem because she doesn't see a problem in the first place. But see, where you make her see a problem is when she can't get out there and she can't get no attention. She can't get no sex. She can't get anything that she wants in the way of that, because I know she's getting free attention all over the place. This is a form of free attention for her. You know, this is how she survives. She gets sustenance off of this. You know, she ain't the only one. All while dismissing everything that's wrong with the community and saying she can't relate. Now, I don't know how that makes y'all feel. It makes me feel real shitty. You know, because you feel like you sit up tolerating these people and trying to make this community better for people like this to have a better situation in the community, only for them to be the very person that's going to tell Massa where you ran to. These are the type of people. It's just like you said, they are the enemy. You know, it ain't no more plain than that. And 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of us are sleeping with the enemy. We're sleeping with a person that does not support any of the things that we're doing, does not give you any peace coming home. You know, everything else is a priority except for you. And everything that you want is something that just brings them some sort of difficulty, you know, and when you hear them say those magic words, I shouldn't have to do that, you know. But you don't hear those Brazilians saying, I shouldn't have to do that. They lovingly do it. Rub your head while they feed you. You know, spend time with you, watch movies with you, caress you, hold you and shit, you know. But we stay here and deal with these dudes, rough ass dudes, fucking trans women. That's what they are. Trans women, hard ass faces, don't know who the fuck they are. Without their makeup, they believe honestly that with all that shit on their face, that's who they are. That should tell you right there that they're delusional, you know, because we all know what the baby gonna look like. The baby's gonna look like what you look like underneath all of that. But for some reason, they still sell it to us as if we're asking for it. Like we're writing Congress to say, please tell the women to wear makeup and get BBLs. Please, we have to have it. No man has ever said any of that shit. But they live in a world of delusion. But let's move on.
In the community, I'm married to my woman. I've been married for almost 19 years. I never had a child out of wedlock, and I still got to look at my paycheck and say, who the fuck is these little kids?
Have you actually
right here
where most of your taxes are going?
Look here. Now she's going to try to ask a fucking millionaire if he knows where his taxes is going. He knows where the fuck his taxes is going. We all know where our taxes is going. It's going to fucking programs. Going to these programs that you guys use to basically, circumvent any kind of accountability and make it to where you don't have to answer to any man. Father, brother, husband, boyfriend, fiance. Y'all don't answer to nobody. You just want to continue to gain shit and to go out there and kick it with your girlfriends and travel and all that shit so you can look like you're having a Real Housewives type of lifestyle. You know, you live for the the comments that you get from your girlfriends, you know? Not from us. You don't give a shit what we think. You just want your girlfriends to think that you're a success and that you've made it, you know, that you're living well, even though your ass is in debt, you know, doing all of this shit, you know? That's why men can live with less and be content until we get, you know, end up trying to get one of y'all, and then y'all take us into debt. We're constantly trying to get more and more shit to keep you happy. But again, you know, I'm so thankful for the Passport Bros and everything that this has come down to. I think, you know, you know, it's a great thing that these women are saying, hey, if you don't want your men, hey, you know, we'll take them and we'll treat them well, you know. And then they want to say that they're broke. The women are broke, you know, they're crazy. They don't know what they're getting into. They don't know how sorry you black men are. Let's get on into it, man. I'm ranting. Let's hear what, you know, BTaylor has to say.
Because most of your taxes is going to Medicare,
to you,
not Medicaid.
To you.
To who?
To you.
Single mother.
See how she gets to who? To who? See, this is another tactic that they use to try to, you know, to throw you off, because, you know, none of this applies to me. But then, you know, she's trying to tell Anton what applies to him. Anton wasn't going off, but he said it's to you. To you people, your types. And now she got, you know, hit dog holler. None of y'all know my situation or my personal situation and none of that. Watch, she telling off on herself.
Single mothers. Single mothers.
No. Because what you're not gonna do is group me in there, because none of y'all know my business or my personal life.
And you don't know the business of anybody else. So why? I mean, what's the issue? You said you can't relate. So, I mean, if you can't relate, how do you know what kind of person they talking about anyway?
What I got going on, other than what I show y'all. Y'all don't know what I got going on. Y'all don't know what's happening over here or with my children.
BTaylor, calm down. Stand down.
Oh, so she's got children out of wedlock. What my children are going through? Oh, she must have more than one.
Stand down. We're not talking about you. Calm down. Calm down.
I don't get government assistance. So that's for one. Don't try to stereotype me or any of that. No, because I have a right to defend myself. Don't point at me and say to you. Say to whoever you talking to.
No, it's to you, and the reason it's to you. The reason that it's to you is because you're the one that's spouting out these talking points. No, you are just as much as the problem, because you support this narrative. You're the one that's
off of your car. You're so mad that your wheels got stolen off your car. You want to start pointing the finger.
Now she pulls in some private shit that irritated Anton to try to dismiss the truth that he just talked about, only because he had, I mean, you see this bullshit tactics that these women use? And now if he cuss her ass out, then he's going to be in the wrong. But he just said, you are the one who's constantly coming on here trying to defend these talking points and these positions of these people that you don't even know. You trying to tell him that he's not paying taxes, and then she's gonna try to tell what the tax code breaks down to take out of Anton's pay and who it goes to? The nerve of this chick. Really?
Every black woman that probably have a kid, you don't know what the fuck they got going on in their situation or their life, but you want to sit here and have the nerve to point the finger and say somebody's getting government assistance.
So we got to know what's going on in every one of their lives, you know, even though, we know because they tell on themselves. We know how many hundreds of women do we have to sit up and listen to on all these platforms tell off on themselves and tell about their shitty situations, how they fucked off their marriages, and 2 or 3 men before had babies by all of them, you know, having babies by crackheads and shit, but they never knew the dude was on crack. You know, just fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. And they expect us to just to give them a pass. And I'm glad Anton ain't giving no passes. I wouldn't give no passes either. Look, Bruiser looking like he uncomfortable, turning away from the camera. Mr. Lego just looking. I would be staring that that woman in her face and saying, yes, you, with your sensitive ass. I'm talking to you. And if you can't handle it, mute your damn mic and let us finish the fucking topic.
You don't know what.
No, you feeling guilty now because now you got to substantiate your argument.
If you want to know where your taxes are going, then you look up and see where most of your money is coming from. Most of your money is being taken out by Medicare, not Medicaid. So if you actually look up where your taxes is going, then you would know and stop being mad.
Oh, so now she knows more than the man who makes the money. And you see how she switched it off for her 2 kids that she ain't got no daddy for? Nobody could stay around long enough to deal with Miss BTaylor, to stay around for their kids. That's why Anton said, yeah, you. And that's when she let it out that she got them 2 kids whose fathers ran off because they couldn't deal with her. We all know that that's the reason why most men leave, is because they can't deal with that woman. And the women don't want the kids if they can't have the man. And they don't want the man unless he kneeling, bowing, and scraping before them. So they don't want no real man. They don't want a man to have any dominion over his household, his family, any of that. Even though the statistics show that if that's the case, the kids are better off. They're better off if they just shut the fuck up and just allow that man to have his place and she stay in her place. And look, I mean, if that, no man is running around just fucking, making women fucking bow down to him and be in these subservient roles. Ain't nobody doing that, but they make it sound like the worst case scenario ever. And that's not happening. But, again, I'm getting off the subject. Just continue to look at this ratchet, ignorant, baiting and switching BTaylor.
Trying to point the finger at whoever and being mad about your checks.
Fellas, the minute that y'all realize that she is literally a representation, because she's
I don't care if you can stereotype me all you want to, Anton. I'm not gonna let you.
You didn't even let me finish what I was gonna say, and this is another
ratchet.
This is another reason why men tend to walk away from the table. No, because this is another reason. Because it's funny because you asked me for respect, and I let you talk. I literally shut the panel. I shut the panel down. I literally, I was stopping Bruiser. I stopped Mr. Let Go. I asked Ali to hold off, and I said, hey, y'all, let her finish her point. Now, when I get passionate about something, you don't want to hear it because you feel like you're taking it personal, right?
No, you pointed, you said you.
You are, and let me add the context.
Okay.
You are a representation of what it is that we not rocking with, because you're the one that made the point. You standing on these principles, you advocating for this, and you also are refusing to hold women accountable, which is your sisters.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I hold my guys accountable. I push for the things that's best for our community, and I'm also a representation of what I would like to see, right? But when you say certain things, and I'm not talking about you and your personal situation, because I don't know your situation, but you're a representation of it because you're espousing all of these talking points that's bad for the community. And so when I say you're the problem, I'm talking also about your mentality.
Now I think she gets it. What y'all think? Y'all think she gets it now? I don't know. I mean, yeah. I think she gets it. But with that being said, I'm gonna, do another little deal here I saw off the TikTok.
Now, what happened? White women came out and captured our women and convinced us that white women were not as racist as white men, and convinced us, or convinced our women, that they would place them above their husbands, their brothers, their lovers, their children, their sons, and then the white gays came out and convinced our gays it was a gay struggle and stole our gays, okay? White students came out and grabbed our black students, said it was a student struggle, and wiped out our black students. And all of a sudden, we have to wonder, where's the fight? You know what I mean? It's not a fight. So now they're coming up with books such as, book is The Declining Significance of Race.
Yeah. So there you have it. You got, these situations where it's just baiting and switching. If you listen to that, that's an older clip where the situation was being explained to us, and they still don't get it. Still don't get it. And listen to this one.
You see, the word sexism was created to replace the word racism. Women's studies was created to replace black studies. You see? And now they've raised up black feminists to replace the real sister.
Yeah. To replace the real sister. So that's what you got there. You got a black feminist, explaining everything away, so that, she seems smart and she seems like, she's out for the sisterhood and for the betterment of the community. But this is an old song that's been played over and over and over again. She don't even know where it comes from. She's just young and out of pocket. So with that being said, you guys hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. And, it's been fun. I got my little outro got hit. I'm so messed up about it. I can't even use that no more because some folks overseas claimed it. So anyway, I'm going to go out with the intro. I appreciate you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button. I'll check you guys out next time.
I want you to stand up tall and proud. I want you to speak up clearly.